This week's parsha is Parshas Eikev. I wanted to speak about the topic of Avas Gerim, the love that the Torah wants us to have for somebody who converts to the ways of the Torah and to Yiddishkeit. So the Torah tells us in Perek Yud, Pasuk Yud Zayin, the Torah tells us about Ki Hashem Elokechem is the Elokei Elokim, Adonai Adonim, Hakel Hagodol, Hagibor Vanora, Asher Yisafonim Mikach Shochad. Torah continues, Osa Mishpat Yosam V'Almana, V'oiv Ger, V'osei Salwechem V'Simla. Torah, the Rashi brings from the Gemara in Megillah, that whenever we find the Gevura of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hakel, Hagodol, Hagibor, V'Anora, we also find the Anivus of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem, with all that Godol, Gibor, V'Anora, Hashem takes care of the Yosam and the Almana, and Hashem loves the Ger. So now the Torah continues in Pasuk Yud Tes, you should love the ger, because you were gerim in the land of Mitzrayim. And here we find the mitzvah to love a ger. So just to divert a minute, the Gemara in Bav Mitzvah and Daf Nun Tes Amud Beis talks about the flip side of this, that when a person would oppress a ger, not only are they violating the issur to oppress a fellow Jew, they're also violating a special issur to oppress a ger. And the Gemara brings, Rabbi Elazar Hagadol says, why does the Torah warn about concern for Gerim and treating Gerim properly in 36 places? Some say another 10 places count. It's actually 46 places in the Torah that it warns about how to treat a Ger. Because his source is bad. Rabbi Nassan Omer a different pshat. People in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. In other words, the first pshat in the Gemara is because he came from a bad foundation and he moved away from it. And I think the pshat in that is we have to respect it. And there's just an idea, which hopefully we'll come back to, that you should appreciate that whatever you're looking down on this person about, because, he's different, he's a stranger in strange territory, you yourself were like that once, and people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. But anyway, going back to the positive end here. So the mitzvah is Leil Hoves HaGerim. So the Rambam in Sefer HaMitzvos, Mitzvah Reish Zayin says, even though he's included in V'ahavta Re'echa Kamocha, but because he's come under the Torah, he has a special love and a special, from Hashem, and a special mitzvah. Including in V'losonu Ishlami, so not to oppress another person, is V'ger Losonu. The idea is because he's come under the yoke of Torah, so Hashem adds Ava onto his Ava, and he has his own special mitzvah to love him. Rav Yonasan Eibeshitz, in his Yaros Devash, he actually elaborates on that point a little bit. We say in Al Tzadikim, Mishmon Esrei 3 times a day, V'al-geri at-tzedek v'alinu yemunu rachamecha Hashem Elokeinu. He points out that the ger is someone who's done the mice of Avraham Avinu. He's recognized HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the darkness of today's world, and he's come to the light. So we have a special reason to love him. But he connects it, he says, a person who is abundant in loving the ger, loves Hashem and his Torah. Because the Ava of the Ger is based on his love of Hashem and his Torah. That's the reason why I love him. I think what he means is that, I have somebody who's maybe from a different culture than me, maybe a culture I don't even like so much, and so and he's not from our world, and he doesn't get all the nuances of our culture, so why do I love him? I love him because he's chosen Hashem and his Torah, and that's enough of a reason to love him. So if I love the Ger, it shows that I love Hashem and his Torah. That's what I think maybe Rav Yonasan Eibeshitz means. He says, and that's why we put to our hearts to daven for his good, that he shouldn't chas v'shalom turn back towards his former roots. He brings lo gol Yisrael b'cholam el lakid hagerim. Klal Yisrael was brought into Garus partly in order to collect all the gerim. And I remember recently, I don't remember how many years ago, there was actually a young lady who was a Giores from Ecuador, and she was killed in a terrorist accident in Eretz Yisrael. I remember a lot of people said, she's a Giores, she never got married, never had children, who's going to learn Torah for her? And a lot of people took it upon themselves to learn Mishnayos in her memory. It was a beautiful Kiddush Hashem, and it was a beautiful expression of what it means to love Gerim. It's interesting, when I was younger, I thought that Gerim have the same halachas as regular Jews. L'maisa, they don't. If you learn the Gemara's in Yavamis, they're not allowed to marry, a Gioris can't marry a Kohen, a Ger is not allowed to take certain positions of leadership. There are differences in halacha. The Ger is not 100% like a Yid in every aspect, so maybe that could probably be why he's led to feel second class in certain ways. It could be also because at the end of the day, people view him as second class. At the end of the day, he's an outsider. People might not embrace him in the proper way, but there's a special mitzvah to love him. The Torah warns in so many places to appreciate the value of the Ger. I'd like to share with you a beautiful piece from the Rambam. Rav Aharon Lopiansky Shlita gives Moava Malkas in his yeshivas, and they actually are uploaded as a podcast called Gedolei Torah, where he profiles Gedolei Torah. These things are not usually my thing, but Rav Aharon is amazing. And he has one about the Rambam, and he quotes a beautiful tshuva. And Baruch Hashem, Rav Hamana brings a piece of this tshuva also. And it's just, we view the Rambam as a man of halacha, which he was, but we have letters here and there that give us an insight into the midos of the Rambam. So the story behind this tshuva is basically that this person was a Muslim convert, known as, in the letter as Rav Ovadia Hager, and his Rebbe had said that the Muslim customs of like throwing rocks at the Mecca and whatever, different things are in the realm, make it in the realm of Avodah Zarah. And he argued with his Rebbe. He said, I was a Muslim and I know that they don't have intent for Avodah Zarah and different things. And his Rebbe called him a ksil, he called him a fool. So he wrote to the Rambam about this. And the Rambam says that he agrees with him in halacha. But more importantly, for our purposes, that it's not Avodah Zarah, but the Rambam says, how could a person possibly call a ger a fool? The Rambam just writes in glowing, a person who leaves his family behind, his whole nation, and he comes to cling to the Jews because he sees the truth in it. He recognizes the MS, a person who has that strength and that clarity, and he appreciates that all the other religions have been stolen from Judaism, and he comes, runs after Hashem with all the challenges involved in doing such a thing, gives up Olam Hazeh, doesn't sort of thing. How could you call such a person a salch? If anything, he's a maskil. He's a person with tremendous seichel. He's a maven. He's a pikeach. He's a talmid of Avram Avinu. He's following the footsteps of Avram Avinu to go do such a thing. And a person who blessed Avram Avinu, may he give you your schar and olam hazeh and olam haba. May he give you the proper schar. May marich your yamin, Torah and mishpatei Hashem. Choidasav yiskos schaliros b'chon achamos hasidos Yisrael. The Rambam throws such praise on this ger. He says, before anything else, just the fact that a person became a ger, on the shtomim, such a person, you can't praise such a person enough. It's the very beautiful sign of the love and sensitivity that the Rambam showed to gerim. I want to close with an idea. The Chinuch makes a very beautiful application in Mitzvah Taf Lamed Aleph. The Chinuch says that a person who violates this mitzvah is doesn't help them out properly, maybe even degrades them because the ger is easy to take advantage of. He has nobody to back him up. He's mevatel this mitzvah say, and his onesh is very great. His punishment is very great. You should learn from this mitzvah, he says, to have mercy on people in the city who are outsiders. You see outsiders who have no help. You should have mercy on them. You should treat them well. You see, that's the Torah's derech. And the Torah alludes in the Torah. The Torah says, Ki gerim hayisem be'eretz Mitzrayim. One of the reasons we love the ger so much is because we relate to him. We went through this pain ourselves, so we can appreciate what he's going through to feel like the outsider, feel like he doesn't belong. Yes, even in today's world, the Jew could feel like the outsider and feel like he doesn't belong. Amazing that the Torah knows that we have that power within us to actually tap into that feeling all the way back from Yetzias Mitzrayim. Amazing our power to connect to our past as Yidden. And maybe learn to appreciate the Torah's perspective on Gam, the Torah's perspective on people who rise above and rise to the challenge and follow what they know is right in the face of so much difficulty and put themselves out there like that. May we learn to value the respect the Torah has from them and take it to heart. Have a wonderful Shabbos.